It's showtime, folks. Welcome in, Chasing Big Joe, 1025, 1063, the game on this Thursday, live at the Omni Nashville Hotel at Bar Lines. He's Big Joe. I'm Chase McCabe. Dr. Cray Nick Frazier is on the ones and twos back at the studio. Joe, what's up? How you doing?
It's a beautiful day, man. Happy to be here with you and our good friends here at the Omni Nashville Hotel.
Why are you whispering?
Because it's how you. I don't want to get come out of the gate screaming and yelling. We're just like, hey, here we are. Here's what's going on, man.
Okay.
That's what we're doing. So no, we're excited to be here with our good friends at the Omni Nashville Hotel Bar Lines as we get set for another big weekend of football. I will not be with you tomorrow, and I'm sad about that because I'm headed down to Chattanooga.
But you'll be on the show.
I'll be on the show,
Okay,
but I
good.
will not be with you.
Okay.
buddy.
You're always with me. You're in my heart.
Oh my God, you're gonna make me cry.
Just tap your heart.
And I'll do that. So we're looking forward to a fun show today.
Yeah, we are indeed, and we'll hit a lot of different things: Titans, Preds, college football. You know, this is the time of year where I get getting a little sad.
Why?
You know why? Because college football is, I mean,
Nope.
it's not over, but like we don't have a full, college football Saturday. It's all championship games. You got Army, Navy, which will be great. But it's like I love it. I just love it so much.
I mean, we have, but all these games have consequences today. A year ago they didn't, but all these games, the Boise State game, the Georgia Texas game, Oregon and Ohio State
That's true.
game,
That is true.
Clemson and SMU have all just these huge consequences this weekend. And to me, that's what's going to keep me glued as much as I can to the screen to see what's going on. And then, my goodness, Sunday night it all comes out. But like if you're Tennessee, you're good. Deep breath,
you're fine.
You're in.
You can be mad that right now you're not hosting the game. Like I'll give you that. That's probably a worthy gripe to have. But it's not the final deal yet.
No, and you might look at Tennessee if something crazy goes happen, you might end up at 12. You're still in. Like
sure.
If Clemson beats SMU and Penn State beats Oregon, I mean, all this chaos could come on. You're still in, so take some solace in that. But I'm loving the memes now there about all these, like, for movies about trying to get Alabama. How's Alabama going to get in, and they're trying to do different ways to get – Alabama's going to get in. I'm telling you, man. They're going to get in this 12-team playoff. And I think they wreck some havoc on this. And we'll see. But that's just – it. Like you said yesterday, it's such an Alabama thing to watch them get in the college football playoff and then just make their way on through, and then we'll watch it all happen in real time. It'd be crazy if that happened.
I was thinking about that too. Like, I'm not an Alabama fan, but how am I going to feel if they do get in? Like, am I going to be impressed or be like, oh, of course they did?
You're going to say, of course they did.
I mean, but
of course they got in.
If you're looking at it all head to head and putting together the 3-loss SEC teams, then they're the one that should probably get in of the 3.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And it's going to piss people off, but that's kind of the way it goes sometimes. So I don't know. It's going to be it will be interesting to see how that works out. Does Miami get left out? At this point, I kind of feel like they do, because do you believe the committee when they say that they're not going to let championship weekend change some of the seedings?
I don't know.
I don't see how you can't let it.
No, and I think there's a little reward. We talk about this for getting to your conference championship. A little reward in this. Of course, the big reward is if you win the whole thing. And if you don't, if you do, take care of business. Clemson, you want to get in, you win. UNLV, you want to get in, you beat Boise State this weekend. Because I think that's the one. Are they number 2? They beat Boise. Did they get in? Is that what I'm seeing from the Power 5?
What now?
But if UNLV beats Boise?
Yeah, they're in.
Yeah. So
they win that conference.
Yeah. But that conference isn't guaranteed. The group of 5, number 1.
Well, that is true.
Right. So I don't know. Again, all this chaos. So you can think about it all weekend, how you're going to figure things out. And it will drive you absolutely insane.
I actually don't know about that one. Right. That is true. I didn't think about that. The group of 4. See, this is where it just gets so convoluted and,
Yeah. I love, but we're going to be glued to the TV and see what happens. And that's the beauty. What they've created, this chaotic, wonderful, mind-boggling thing that we are all addicted to right now, and we love it. I saw our buddy Tom Luganbill on ESPN last night talking about how the interest, he's never seen this interest this late in the season for college football ever. And that's what they've done a great job about that. So thank you very much on all that.
Yeah. You want to do our question?
Let's do our question of the
All right,
day.
go ahead.
Before
Go
we get, because that's part of my question, the Nashville Predators.
Okay. Well, I was bringing that up because they lose 3-2. They have lost their last 4 games 3-2.
Have they?
Yeah, except this one wasn't overtime. But you go back to the Philadelphia game the day before Thanksgiving, 3-2. Tampa Bay the day after Thanksgiving, 3-2. Minnesota, 3-2.
And then
last night, Toronto, 3-2.
Oh my goodness. All right. So here's our question today. And we love y'all's participation because we have the best listening audience in America. 615-737-1025. It's a simple question today, and we are your therapy show to 11. The question is, who do you need to apologize to? It can be sports or non-sports.
Oh boy.
But who do you need to apologize to? Hit us on the text line. We love it when you call. I will start real quick. I have to apologize to Josh Heupel. When he took over in January of 21 and pretty much all of Knox County transferred out, I thought he's going to be there 2 years. He might win 5 games. He'll kind of tide it over like Mike Shula did in Alabama when he took over. And just kind of 2 years there and get out. I'm telling you, man, he has done an amazing job when nobody believed in Josh Heupel. And I said he'd be there 2 years and gone. And now he's got him to the playoffs. And I go by this by saying I have a very good friend whose son is a walk-on the Tennessee team. And they tell me how well Heupel, how stern he is, but how well he treats their son who's a walk-on and makes him feel like he's a part of the team and everybody pushing forward. My first apology is to Josh Heupel. But I want to hear from everybody else.
That's a good one. There's a lot of people that are in this category. I think I owe an apology to Clark Lee. Because going into this year, I was really concerned. And I like him a lot, obviously. And I wanted the best and wanted him to succeed. But going into this year, I was like, man, I'm worried. I'm just worried. I'm worried that this isn't going to work out. And you're typical fan. And just because I've seen it, like I've seen it so much. And I haven't rooted for a guy more than him because he's a Nashville guy. He's a Vandy guy. And I want to see one of those people succeed. And by gosh, they got to a bowl game this year. And I know that, we all wanted more. And there were a lot of highs, some lows. And that, it kind of fell off down the stretch. But they were in those games.
Look who they played.
Yeah. I mean, the schedule got tougher.
Yeah.
The schedule got tougher. But, I mean, you beat Alabama. You lose by 3 to Texas. Yep. Beat Virginia Tech to start the year.
That's right.
Missouri
overtime.
Missouri in overtime. You obviously want Georgia State back. I mean, you have a feel like this phrase has been ruined, but you have a couple of bounces go your way. Things are a little different.
Yeah.
Right. And so I do. Clark, the job that you and your staff have done, I think the most brilliant move he made, well, there's 2 of them. 1, he made himself the defensive coordinator because he's really, really good at that.
Right.
And 2, he brought in Jerry Kill.
Jerry Kill.
And
can't go wrong.
I want to see where this goes. Like, I don't know about the lawsuit thing with Pavia, but if Pavia can come back for another year and they can kind of build off this, and then they can play the portal and get even more guys to come in and see what they're doing.
Well, think about this.
The sky's the limit.
Where did Vegas? What was the over under on win? Was it 2.5?
I think it was 2.5, and they beat that.
right
out of the gate.
So out of the gate, you and I, not to steal your phrase, we are apologizing to coaches, but you apologize to your neighbor, to whoever. Who do you need to apologize to? Get it off your chest today. We want to hear from you guys throughout the show today. And I got another real quick. I'd like to apologize because I thought the Nashville Predators would go all the way to the Stanley with the signing they had.
I know.
So I apologize to a few friends who I said, and to me, it's clear they're not going to the Stanley Cup.
You know what? We haven't really talked about all this much. let's do that. Let's do that next. You know, because I do. I mean, there's a lot of stuff out there, and I heard. Obviously, we played it on the show, but we replayed the interview that you did with Ryan O'Reilly during the pregame show last night.
Thank you.
And you asked the perfect question,
Oh my
and I
God.
thought he gave a really good answer.
Are you going to make me cry on this? 'Cause I don't remember what I did.
No, it was asking about the noise, putting the noise out. And we'll talk about that and much more. 615-737-1025. That's our phone and text line driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. It is Chase and Big Joe. We're live at the Omni Nashville Hotel at not Kitchen Notes, at Bar Lines here on 1025, 1063 The Game.
Ryan, now with the Predators, and look, you guys aren't off to the start that you wanted to, and we all know that. How do you push out the noise of like, you need to do this and do that, yada, yada, yada? How do you push all that out and just play hockey, or can you?
Yeah. No, I think, obviously there is a lot of noise. I think everyone on the team is, disappointed with the way we've started, and, there's a lot of frustration. I know for myself, I want to contribute more, and, other guys too. It's, we're a much better team than it shows. And the thing is, and, we talk about it as a group, it's, the only way we're going to get out of this is together and one game at a time. And, our last few games, we're only scoring 2 goals and getting to overtime and losing, and we're all upset about it. But you know what? We're getting points, and, we got to just keep with this. It's going to click at some point. We're not giving up. We're not going to go away. We're just going to, focus on getting the next win. And we get that, and then we move on to the next. And I think, we're learning a lot about ourselves with this adversity, and, we're going to stick with it.
It was Ryan O'Reilly yesterday on our show. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game, live at Bar Lines at the Omni Nashville Hotel today. And so the Predators fall 3-2 last night in regulation. It was 1-0 going, I think I have that right, 1-0 going into the first period, or third period. And Toronto came battling back. The Predators also came battling back. But Toronto scored 3 goals in the third period to win the game 3-2. And that's just that's kind of been the Predators season in a nutshell of 2/3 of the game are solid. And then they let one period, usually it's either the second or in this case the third, get away from them, and it costs them the game. And I can't wrap my finger around that, why that's happening. And you asked the question about noise. Obviously the biggest noise that I think is more from the fan, some fans than anything is
They should be upset.
Should they? Well, no, they should be upset. I'm not saying they shouldn't be upset, but the easy answer is always, well, fire the coach. And I disagree with that. I don't think that's the answer. I think what he did last year, we have such a short memory span nowadays that what he did last year with less, I think has earned him. You're welcome. Has earned him some.
Oh, you're the best, man. You're the best.
Nope, that wasn't even planned.
No, you are correct. And I go back to July 1st, when we talked to, I think Brady Shea was like, I'm looking the ticker on NHL Network. I'm like, oh, the Preds signed this guy and that guy. And we're all excited. We all got drunk off of this, right? Yeah. I mean, I'm like, I'm a fan. I don't analyze the Nashville Predators. I don't know a third line from a Congo line. I'm telling you right now, I just like this hockey team. I always have. And I got drunk on like, well, this is great. And now they've got 7 wins.
Yeah.
They are 7 wins. It just looks, and I know there's talent there, right? These guys are all winners at some point. Oh, let me bring this up real quick. This whole 4-nation tournament thing in February that they're doing.
Yeah.
What the hell?
It's
what the hell?
Well, I mean, I think we love Olympic hockey. And I think they're trying to replicate it, and it's just
so your team's tanking. You're having a terrible year, but I'm gonna go play for my country in the middle of the hockey season.
Basically,
I got a problem with that.
Well, the season's going to pause.
No, it shouldn't.
But
then you're gonna go play for your country. Why can't you do that in the off season?
I look, it's the NHL that came up with it. I don't know.
You got connections.
Talk to Gary Bettman.
I tried to. He said, "What are you doing in my bedroom?"
Whoa!
I couldn't find him. I'm like, "Where are you?" To talk to you. So look, man, I got to not to hijack your thing, but that bugs me in the middle of like the NBA doing this thing, this stupid little inter tournament, whatever squad thing is going on. But if you're my hockey team and you've tanked, and yet you're gonna go be all holly jolly with your country to do this in the middle of the season, no, man.
Well, and here's what I was saying, because people are already pushing back, like, well, okay, if coaching change isn't, what is it? The true answer is I don't know, and I know that hockey, there are facts that say that you make the in-season coaching change and you've seen teams get better. I understand that. I just don't think it's his fault. And I think, I think he's culpable in it. I think Barry Trotz is culpable in it. I think Ryan O'Reilly is culpable. I think they're all, culpable in this. It's just, but I've seen hockey enough and I've seen sports enough to know that if you do kind of let them keep working through it, because even though we all had a lot of expectations this year, now if Brunette ends up, coaching the rest of the year and this team just doesn't ever click, and then all of a sudden you have a top draft pick, which you've desperately needed to do some of the things that you wanted to do. Again, you're disappointed for this year, but don't you look at having a top prospect as a good thing for the future? I mean, Barry Trotz has always said, we're in a let's be competitive now, but he's looking ahead to the future. He's trying to bring as many young top prospects into this organization as he can. And, one texter, Matthew Nashville, says, Chase Joe, remember last year when Barry said things might get tough and it will take time? I think he misspoke and meant it for this year, but I don't think he should have predicted it would be this bad. Stamkos, Shin, and Marchessault look like Aaron Rodgers with the Jets. Shea is Kyle Turris 2.0. Carrier needs to be traded. He can't defend to save his life. Sick and tired of the front office and certain member of the station constantly telling me year after year he's good. He isn't.
Okay. All right.
So that's fine. I don't know. I mean, he met last year, but I do think this is where I will kind of give you my 2 cents that I haven't said this yet. I think everybody got a little overzealous after last year. I think everybody got really excited, and they should have, because I think the team overachieved. Nobody expected them to make the playoffs last year, and they did. And credit to them. Credit to Andrew Brunette. Credit to the players. Credit to Barry Trotz. Credit to everybody involved that they did that. That they went through the gamut. They the U2 trip happened. They canceled that. They went on this historical run, and they made it into the playoffs. And even though the scores may not always show it, they were competitive in the playoffs against Vancouver.
They were.
And Vancouver was just a better team. So I think after that, everybody was like, okay, including myself, maybe they're a little closer than we thought they were. Let's go ahead and add some pieces and then go for it. And even though Barry Trotz spent a lot of money to get, Shea and Stamkos and Marchessault and Wedgwood, who's now gone, even though he did that, it was still all right. We're kind of trying now, but we still have all these pieces for the future. So at the same time, maybe going for it isn't going to work, but you're still going to have, I think, some really good pieces to put this together for the future. What's been concerning to me is seeing some of the younger guys kind of take a step back. Evangelista is a big one, and not take the steps forward like you were hoping that they were going to do.
Oh yeah.
But at the end of the day, I know, look, there's a lot of you. They're like, just fire the coach, get a new coach. Explain this to me. If you do that, who are you going to get that's better? That's out there right now. Don't say Barry Trotz. I know that's the easy answer for everybody. Don't tell me, oh, Barry will just come down and sit on the bench. No, that's he's the general manager. He's not the coach anymore.
Yeah, I'm with you. Justin says, I need to apologize to Chase and Big Joe for my stupid take yesterday to the Predators. We're going to pull their head from inside their own and go in a heater. I'm sorry. I put that out there. They doubled down on being even more inept from last night. That's part of our question today is, who do you need to apologize to? Who do you need to apologize to, sports or non-sports? Patrick says, I need to apologize to Jim Boeheim because as a Syracuse fan, I took for granted just how great he was. Jim, I am sorry. I love the show every day. Patrick, thank you, Patrick, for that. Rebecca's got a question for you.
Yeah, look, it's a fair question. Rebecca says, what if we end the season bottom of the league? You don't make a coaching change then? I think you evaluate everything then. Right? I mean, look, if you end at the bottom of the league with the expectations the way they were, then everything is up for evaluation at that point.
6487 says they'll bring in Bruce Boudreau. Where's he now?
I think he's NHL Network.
Okay.
And okay, look, and here you go. Hair Metal Henry. I was waiting for somebody to say this name, and Hair Metal Henry said it. Joel Quenneville. And are you going to be that one? Are you going to be the one to bring him back into the league? It's all valid to have this conversation. I get it, but the organization is standing by Andrew Brunette. I'm standing by Andrew Brunette because I look at what he did last year with a whole lot less. And this year is just one of those things where, Nick, let's grab the phone, please. It's just one of those things where I can't explain what's going on.
No, and that's the
And they
frustrating
can't
part.
either.
No,
and that's
that
the
is.
frustrating part. They don't know.
I'm not. Look, the default is always fire the coach, fire the coach. And NHL is historically on those fire. Didn't Laviolette get fired after 3 games in Philadelphia? I think he did.
He did.
After 3 games. So they're always quick to do this, but then, what? Yeah, who's going to get better? What's going to happen going there? That's kind of the default we always go to. Fire him immediately. Just fire him. Let it. I have no problem letting him coach the rest of the year. Maybe they don't turn around.
No.
If they don't turn around, then that goes back to the Will Levis thing. Let him ride out this year. At some point, you have to give the opportunity to do what you can do. If it doesn't work, then you shake hands and you're on your way. If it does work, like, hey, here it is. For example, Seinfeld, the first year was the second lowest rated show in NBC.
Yep.
The second. Now, this has nothing to do with hockey, but should they have pulled the plug? Absolutely. Everybody should do it. And they're like, well, we got this slot here. Let's give it one more year. And it took off. So you just never know. 28 games to me right now, and they're terrible. They won 7 games, whatever it is.
That's the thing.
Let's go. Let's see the whole year.
That's the thing. If you watch, and follow me on this, and I know what you're going to say.
Uh-oh.
If you watch the whole body of work, if you watch the games, they're not terrible, but they're not winning. And at the end of the day, you have to win.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
I'll follow you on that.
I forgot we have this next.
Do we have a guest?
We do. WWE Monday Night Raw is coming to Bridgestone Arena in February. WWE superstar Kofi Kingston going to join us coming up next.
Oh, man,
here
come
on
on.
the program. We will shift gears. We'll get back into hockey for sure. We'll do that next. 102.5, 106.3 The Game.
It's a new day. Yes, it is.
I don't know if this theme's appropriate anymore. We're about to find out from our next guest. Chase and Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game here on this Thursday. We're at the Omni Nashville Hotel. Coming up February 10th, Monday Night Raw at Bridgestone Arena. Looking forward to that. Tickets are on sale now. It's always a good show when WWE comes to town. We say hello to WWE superstar Kofi Kingston, who is on the line with us. And Kofi, we saw it Monday night. I guess it is a new day, is it not?
It is a new day. I woke up that next day. I had posted on social media just feeling brand new. I had actually taken a red-eye flight, and as I woke up on the flight, the sun was rising in Atlanta, Georgia, and it just truly felt like a new day. It was great. It felt like a burden had been lifted from my shoulders. Very energetic, emotional night for everybody involved, but I think that it's all full speed ahead, and we're rising from this point forward.
So what does this mean moving forward for you and Woods? Because we've kind of seen, you guys clash a little bit over the last few weeks, and then Big E comes back, tries to fix it all. You guys, take exception to that and move on from Big E. So what can we expect moving forward from this new day?
Well, I think having a new attitude and a new reset is, it's natural. It's a natural transition right now, and it feels good to be able to move forward. You and the rest of the WWE universe have been watching over the past few months. You saw me and Woods really butting heads, and the week before this past Raw, you saw us actually getting each other's faces, and we're yelling at each other in a way that we've never talked to each other ever. A lot of emotions were involved, and everybody in the WWE universe saw what was happening, and they saw the path to that. So to me, when Big E showed up last week, it was too little, too late. If everybody saw what was happening, why didn't he, try to intervene a little bit earlier? It's not like he hasn't been at work. He's been on those premium live events and pre-shows, been on those. He could have very easily came to us at any point during this deterioration, and he chose, to wait all this time. It was just too little, too late, So it is what it is, man. I'm excited for what comes next. Like I said, I think me and Woods are more focused than ever right now, and there's a new level of just new energy that we're feeling, and we're going to take the WWE universe by storm.
Kofi Kingston is with us, WWE superstar. There's a new energy in WWE, and we've basically seen it over the course of the last year and a half. And I go back to the storytelling that, that you and Woods and now E, have the storyline that you've all been a part of. It's truly can't miss television. How much fun has it been to be a part of this and, what everyone's kind of dubbed the Triple H Paul Levesque era?
Yeah, it has really been truly amazing to be a part of this, especially for myself. I've been with the WWE on television consistently for the past 18 years or something like that, and just to see the transition in terms of even what I think it is being able to continue a story and to take people on journeys that they don't, with twists and turns that they don't see coming, that they don't expect. To have some level of the ultimate level of continuity and consistency throughout the show is so important. I mean, there's so much good television out there that tells so many good stories. So for us, it's very important for us to be able to grasp the people's attention. So to be able to have situations and storylines where we're telling stories with different twists and turns and plot twists and all of those emotions that we're invoking from people, it's awesome to be a part of. It's a special energy, like you said. And, the ticket sales don't lie. Sold out houses week in, week out. They don't lie. The product right now is fire, as the kids like to say. It's really great to be a part of.
And they do say that. Kofi, were you talk about selling out arenas and the ratings are all-time high. So were you surprised? I mean, what happened on December 2nd with everything that went on TV, how the kind of people have kind of gone crazy and lost their mind with what's going on with you guys? Because it's kind of taken over.
Yeah, it really has. I don't think that it's so with us. I mean, we have done a magnificent job of telling the WWE universe what our story is as the New Day and what we represent. the brotherhood that we represent, having each other's backs no matter what is what we have represented for the past decade. There are people that will come up to me now and they'll say, "Oh man, I used to watch you growing up," and they'll show me a picture of them when they were like half their size. And now I stand next to them and they're towering over me. So it's like these people, like they've dedicated their time and their energy to us, and they've seen what the New Day is. They've seen how we came in and we should have been a flop, but through our resiliency and our just, believing in the power of positivity and consistency and our chemistry and our bond and our ability to entertain people, they have come on that ride the entire time. So I can't say that I'm surprised with the reaction. I mean, we've really developed quite the rapport with people over the years. So I would have been more surprised if they didn't care as much as they did. I am surprised that, that most of these people out here don't really understand, like, why we did what we did. I mean, we came out there, and I said this in a different interview, you can always tell when you're right, when you make an argument and you spit nothing but facts. Everything that we said on Monday night was completely factual. It was something that we told the truth. You might not have liked to hear what it was, but then the people online and in social media are talking about like, cussing at us and, cursing us and talking about, your bird chest and this. And there are all these insults that have nothing to do with what we were talking about. So I know that when you can't bring a rational argument to the table, that means that that you're wrong because you don't have any facts to support your argument. Just because you're upset doesn't mean that, that you're right.
Oh, it's a great point. My son, he's 18. He loves you. He loves wrestling. And is it so cool that wrestling kind of reinvents itself every 3 to 5 years? And, 5 years ago, he had no idea who you are. Now he knows who you are. He loves you and loves everything about wrestling. But I think it's the only sport that just kind of reinvents itself every 3 to 5 years. And you are on the front line of this. Do you see it every night in these arenas where they're going crazy for you?
Yeah, it's really awesome. I think it's crazy because, you say every 3 to 5 years, but then it also goes from like generation to generation because you have people who will like fall in and out of wrestling over the years. I used to watch when I was a kid and then I stopped for like 10 years, but now I'm back. I used to watch Dusty Rhodes. Now I'm back. I see Cody Rhodes. And now my son likes Cody Rhodes the way I used to like Dusty Rhodes. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So, the continuity is really unmatched, and it's the coolest thing to be able to weave that thread of consistency throughout different generations. But yeah, like you said too, man, and like I mentioned earlier that, people like invest their time and their energy into these situations that we find ourselves in on television. And now that we're in a position to be able to tell stories with a level of consistency that we haven't had in quite some time, it really like the ticket sales show, man. Like the ticket sales don't lie. The ratings don't lie. People are truly invested. It's a special time. You're seeing people come into WWE from all different worlds that you never thought would happen. Even like, Kevin Owens being here at one time was like, oh my God, like, oh, he's an indie talent. He's on the indies. He'll never be a WWE superstar. Shinsuke Nakamura, oh, he's in Japan. He'll never be on WWE. Now they're like superstars on the roster. Sami Zayn, same thing. Daniel Bryan, same thing. And we've continued to build on that momentum just, Jacob Fatu being here. Nobody ever thought that he'd be here, but here he is, and he's doing incredible things. So, like you said, we're in a really special time for wrestling, and WWE is just on the cusp of, we're breaking barriers in so many different ways, and keeping people on their toes is so difficult to do in this era of television where there's so many entertaining aspects of TV out there, but we're out here doing it into the highest level possible.
Monday Night Raw in Nashville, February 10th, 2025 at Bridgestone Arena. The Netflix era will be underway then. Kofi Kingston is on the line with us. All right, I do want to ask you this before we let you go. Best nerd bar in Nashville that you can go to?
Best nerd bar in that? Oh, it's tough to say. I'm so bad with like names of bars and stuff like that. But I didn't we go to like what was it, like a barcade or something? I don't know. I know we've been.
They got several of those.
Several barcades there over the years. Yeah. But the energy in Nashville is amazing. It's always contagious. It's really, really cool to be there and just like bask in that energy. The entertainment energy, right? Hi, babe. Oh, my daughter just woke up and she came over here with a big smile on her face. It's a new day indeed. It's a new day indeed. But yeah, man, we can't wait to come to Nashville at the Bridgestone Arena. It's always a great crowd there. It's always great energy. So anybody out there who enjoys having fun, I'm in a meeting. Yeah, feel free to come out, have a great time. It's always encouraged to come bring your sign, cheer for the people who you like, boo the people who you don't like. People online have been telling me how bad I am and how mad they are at me and Woods. So come on to Nashville and come tell us to our face. Come tell us how badly you feel about us. Come boo us if you want to. We'll be there. It's going to be a great time, and we're looking forward to it.
Hey, I'll say this as we let you go. It's still Kofi Mania to me, man. So looking forward to seeing where this goes and looking forward to seeing you in Nashville.
Yeah, we can't wait to be there, man. It's going to be an awesome time.
Absolutely. Kofi, thanks so much for doing this.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
All right. Kofi Kingston with us on the program, WWE Superstar. February 10th at Bridgestone Arena, Monday Night Raw. Will be here, and it'll be the new Netflix era. Going to be really cool to see.
What does that mean?
It's moving to Netflix. They're going to stream it on Netflix. So, that I don't know what that means. They can go longer segments, less commercials, all those things. So
is that what does it do now? Where does it air now?
USA.
Okay, so everything transfers over?
Yeah, for Raw. So it'll be really cool,
cool.
when that happens, and going to be there for sure at Bridgestone Arena. All right, we're going to get back into the Predators. A lot of you wanted to weigh in on this with everything going on with the Preds. They lose last night 3-2. They're back in action tonight against Montreal. We'll get back to your calls, back to your texts on the Preds. Coming up next, Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. We're at the Omni Nashville Hotel, our show presented by the Omni Nashville Hotel. We're at Bar Lines today. Dr. Crane is at the Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Game Nashville Studios, home of the $99 yearly Beehive membership, where the buzz is always about great service. Taking your calls and texts, driven by WilsonCountyHonda.com, 615-737-1025 on the Preds.
Real quick, what was that song, Dr. Crane?
Charles in charge.
Oh, okay.
Charles is in charge.
Charles, yeah,
Don't you forget
he
it.
is.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
See what I did there? There you go.
Chuck the fourth.
Chuck the fourth. May the fourth be with you. A lot of you want to weigh in on the Preds and what we were talking about before Kofi Kingston. Gene and Spring Hill, under Brunette, the Preds are now 54, 43, and 11. Last year, until that 18-game streak, they were barely ordinary. Saros won many of those games. Gene, you've put the record there, so not going to argue that. I do think a lot of you, though, last year, you loved them because of what they did in that 18-game streak. And now, all of a sudden, because things aren't going well, you want to forget that. And that happens in sports. I'm not faulting you for it, and you're probably going to push back on me with that. That's fine. You're entitled to do that. But I think he's a good coach. This team, for whatever reason, can't finish yet. And I don't know if, I've seen comments like, have they put too much on Stamkos? Have they taken stuff off of Forsberg or Yossi or put too much? I don't know. And yeah, that does fall on the coach, but I just think we're way too quick to pull something when maybe you just kind of need to give it the rest of the way. We're not even to the first of the year. Give it the rest of the way and see what ends up happening. I could be wrong, and if I'm wrong, I'll admit I'm wrong. But that's just how I feel. That's where I'm at on it. 615-737-1025. Mark wants to weigh in. Mark, what's up?
Hey, what's up, Chase? Always good talking to you and Big Joe. What's up, Big Joe?
Oh, Mark, what's happening, man?
Oh, not too much, man. I'm going to try to weigh in a little bit, try to make a little sense about what's going on. I said the other day on D. Mace and Adam show that maybe they should get rid of him, but I kind of changed my tune because, Chase, you made some good comments about, hey, give him some time. I mean, anytime you got free agents that come into the fold like this, they have to get acclimated with you. You have to get acclimated with them. You have to figure out their strengths, their weaknesses. They may need to make some lineup changes. They may need to set a few guys and stuff to get some guys' attention. It doesn't matter if you're the superstar of the team, but he's got to try to do everything possible to get the Predators back on track and get them going the way that they should, because I'm not really big on free agents, because I think if you're going to go get some free agents, that's only when you're trying to get a chance of thinking that you're going to get to a Stanley Cup final or something. I think you kind of build through the draft and use what you got in your farm system and stuff, and then you build it from there. But you only add free agents when you know that, hey, this is the missing piece that I need to get to where I need to get to. But hey, Big Joe, I got one question for you before I go. I've been always wanting to ask you this.
Yep.
Murfreesboro, Oakland, Joe, is that a dynasty or not in the state of Tennessee of high school football?
Oh, 100%. They're back in the state championship again. I mean,
that's right, Joe.
What a game. What a game against Maryville.
Yeah.
I mean,
week.
crazy. Yeah. Coach Creasy taking over 2016. They've won 4 or 5 state championships. They've won. His playoff record at Oakland is unbelievable. I mean, they're like 3 playoff losses in 9 years, and it's crazy, man. And so hopefully they can break it. We love Kevin Creasy on the show. Hopefully we have him on the show tomorrow. And that's an absolute dynasty, 100%.
Yeah, it is. And you know, man, I'm going to give a shout out. You got to give a shout out to the youth league coaches up there who get these young kids ready for high school football. And I tell people all the time, that town is littered with athletes. And I think, man, if you only had Riverdale and Oakland up there, Joe, and you put them in different brackets, you'd probably be looking at those two playing each other year in and year out in the state finals. But I just wanted to get that. I just wanted to ask you that question, Big Joe. Hey, Chase, y'all have a good day, man. Always good talking to y'all.
Thanks, Mark. Appreciate you.
Thanks, Mark.
What are you saying about free agents? I don't disagree. However, I do think that the Predators found themselves in a very rare position this summer. And here's what I mean by that. They had draft capital that they've been able to keep and not use, for trades or whatever. They can, but right now they have a lot of draft capital. They had prospects, and obviously you want to add more. That's what the draft capital can be used for. But they have prospects that they're developing that we haven't even seen yet. They had cap space that they could work with. And so it was almost like they had the best of both worlds where they could keep building for the future, which is what Barry had started going back to when it was announced he was going to be David Poyle's successor, and they sold off a bunch of guys at the trade deadline 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So then he kind of looked at it as, well, this team overachieved, made it to the playoffs. Maybe we go out and add a couple of pieces via free agency. It just so happened that one of them was one of the biggest names in hockey, in Steven Stamkos. The other had won a Stanley Cup with Vegas a year back in Jonathan Marchessault. And then Brady Shea. They go and they add those guys, and it's like, let's just see what we can do with this group now while still developing for the future. The problem is, when you do that, you change the expectations. The expectations are, oh, you have now added Stanley Cup champion players. They're going to come in here right away and they're going to blow, just tear it up. And you're going to go out and you're going to compete for the Stanley Cup. Not once, did I say, oh, they're going to go out and win the Stanley Cup. I said they're going to compete. And they have underachieved on that. And I'm not denying that. But it still doesn't take away from the overall plan of building for the next few years and kind of using this group that's here now as more of a stopgap. It's disappointing that it's not better than it is right now, but again, it's still a long season. I don't know if they're going to turn it around. I really don't. They're not playing, you said earlier, I said I don't think they're a terrible team. Others disagree with me and say they are. I think they're not playing like a good team,
Right.
but I do think that with the talent they have on this team, if they can just somehow get it to click, once it clicks, they're going to be dangerous.
Let's see
I
it
just don't
happen.
know if that's going to happen.
7 wins. It looks terrible in December.
Yeah, I mean, you're right now. You're probably picking in the top 5.
Yep.
That's what's crazy to think about. 615-737-1025. That's our phone and text line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. We'll get back into some football and more Preds later in the show here on Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. Hour number 2, Chase and Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game on this Thursday. We're live at the Omni Nashville Hotel at Bar Lines. Come by and see us. A couple people in here having breakfast. Our man Sean Mark on hand as well. Dr. Creamback of the studios. So let's we hit a lot with the Predators, and it's clear that you guys,
Well, look
girls,
at the text line. Look at the views. People are mad.
yeah,
And that's good.
and you wanted to vent. And look, we're gonna move back into our question of the day. I'll say this. I think the thing that you have to think about, whether you agree with it or not, this organization has been built on a principle that they're not going to do things like an organization across the river where it's just knee-jerk reactions.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you've seen that with the Titans. And how's that worked out in the last few years? They haven't. Now, have there been times that maybe they've gone a little too long with something? You could probably make an argument for that. But you could also look at it and go, they have stability, and they've built, the pillars that they've built this organization around. And what David Poyle had, 6 or 7 coaches his entire career of 40 years as a general manager. I
Pretty
think there's
good.
something to be said for that. And I think that's why people want to work for an organization like that. And I know hockey's a sport where, they'll change a coach after half a year or a year and a half or whatever to get a spark. And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. I think too many people look at what St. Louis did a few years ago and think that that's the standard. I know Pittsburgh did it once. I mean, there are examples of firing the coach mid-year and then they go and win the Stanley Cup. I certainly understand that. But I subscribe to the fact that they're going to see this through. They have the plan. They know what the plan is, and they're going to ride it out. So that's kind of where I'm at. But again, everybody's entitled to their opinion, and they're going to have it. So we will kind of see. They're back at it tonight and have another chance to try and turn this around, and maybe they can win 3-2. That would if we're going to keep the 3-2 theme, maybe they can win 3-2. Our question of the day is
who in the sports world or even in your life that you need to apologize to? Who do you need to get off your chest and say, I'm sorry and apologize to? I had mine last hour. Again, 615-737-1025. I said, Josh Heupel, I'm sorry when you took over in January of 21. I thought you'd be there 2 years. Chase apologizes to Clark Lee, rightfully so. And then Gator Mike won't stop texting me. So, Mike, I hope in your meeting and you missed this. We apologize. Chase and I, and I'll speak for Chase real quick, apologize to Billy Napier. We are sorry. We thought you'd get canned last year. We thought you'd get canned.
We were so wrong on that.
Halfway this year.
Isn't that why we owe Robbie and Rexroad a lunch or something?
No, why'd you bring that up?
That was the Georgia
They don't
game.
listen. That was
Georgia
the
game,
yeah,
okay.
they don't listen anyway. We can come down here. Robbie and Rexroad, you're more than welcome to come to the Bar Lines at Omni Nashville. Breakfast is on us. It's better than the other place we recommended, Omni Nashville Hotel. Come down here. But who you need to apologize to? And Billy Napier, we thought maybe half through the season. Turns out Florida's got themselves a pretty damn good coach. It's amazing what happens when you get a quarterback and a couple of guys who buy into your program. And Florida is set up pretty good. Now, I'd like to see Florida come here for the Music City Bowl, take on Michigan or Nebraska. Nebraska would be good. Kind of a remake of the 1995 Fiesta Bowl. When Tommy Frazier ran all over you guys. So that's it. So we apologize, but we want to hear from you. Who do you want to apologize to or need to?
I want to read some of these, and then I
got somebody else.
I want to. I don't know. I want to take it somewhere. Byron says, I owe tons of people tons of apologies. The sports one comes to mind would be Owen Hart. Never really that's a good one. That's a good one, Byron. Never really appreciated the level of talent, dedication he brought to the table, and just thought he was a goofy character who spent a lot of his time in a goofy blue mask. Owen Hart, the late wrestler, brother of Bret the Hitman Hart, legendary Hart family. That's a really good one if you're talking wrestling. Let's see. 9064. Absolutely nobody.
Well, be strong in that.
Patrick says, I need to apologize to Jim Boeheim because as a Syracuse fan, I took for granted just how great he was. Jim, I am sorry. Love the show every day, Patrick.
And that's the thing. A lot of those are to coaches and to people that you are sorry for and apologize to. And Boeheim's a good one. I mean, you take him for granted. He only won a national championship, but still, Syracuse is always competitive.
Did they not win a championship?
03.
03, yeah.
That's the only one they won. And that was Carmelo was on that team.
That's right, yeah.
But those are the things. A lot of those are to coaches for what you apologize to. But personal life, I mean, if I had to do that, it'd be a 4-hour show for I need to apologize to.
1246 says, or I'm sorry, Chandler from Nashville will be saying sorry to Andrew Brunette in February. I mean, I would love for that to be the case.
I could see that. Out on me, another one, non-sports, to a great teacher I had at McGavick High School named John Terrell. And there might be some old Nashville folks out there who know that name. He was a great man. He was our chemistry teacher. Never learned anything about chemistry, but we learned about life. And I took that man a lot of us took John Terrell for granted at McGavick High School. And I know you have teachers along the way you apologize to. He passed away about 8-9 years ago and broke my heart. But man, what a good man who cared for us, who loved us, and taught us valuable lessons in class. I know you had one guy at FRA.
Yep,
that
Coach Barnes
believed in you, and you know, not so much of an apology.
Coach Tackett. I had a couple.
Yeah, just kind of like, I'm sorry I didn't listen all the way to you.
Yeah, well, it's funny, you know, on things like that, and this kind of leads into where I was going to take this, that you don't always listen all the way right then, but eventually it kind of clicks as you go on in life. Do you ever apologize to yourself?
What hour is this? Yes.
I mean, of just like when you doubt yourself, or, you know, I've kind of, I guess pulling the curtain back, you know, we talk a lot about mental health on the show.
Amen.
And there's going to be more on that coming up here soon, based on something we did yesterday. And so obviously it's been fresh on my mind, and people, you know, we had our Christmas party last night. People came up to me and were like, hey, it's really cool you guys are doing that and shedding light on it. It's not just for all of you. It's for us too.
Sure. Yeah.
You know, and, you know, I've said it before, like, you know, losing my dad 3 years ago, it's been therapeutic for me to kind of talk about it in a public setting, because otherwise I wouldn't deal with it. And, you know, it's kind of my way of dealing with it. But
Amen,
the other
brother.
thing is, like, I've always struggled with confidence, and, you know, you may hear me and go, well, this guy's on the radio. He's kind of got it all. Like, you know, Joe knows better than anybody. Like, it's not always easy for me,
Right.
you know, and it hasn't been. And so, you know, part of what I do sometimes is as simple as it sounds, I sit and talk to myself in the mirror. And, you know, there are times where it's like, you know what? I'm sorry. I'm sorry for doubting what was in there, you know?
We do. But here's this.
So I think that people, you kind of have to do that sometimes.
Now, I think it's harder to forgive I have a hard problem forgiving myself.
Yeah, I do too.
So I can't do that. I can't. People are like, well, God forgive you. It's like, yeah, I know that, but I can't forgive myself for things you've done, for stupid things you've done. Not you, but me. You've probably done some stupid things too. But I can't. And I've talked to you. I talked to my therapist about this. I was like, hey, man, he's like, you're going to have, at some point, you're going to have to say you're sorry to yourself and move on.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's that great Buffett song. It says, yesterday's over my shoulder. I can't look back for too long. Too much to see waiting in front of me, and I know I can't go wrong. So simple words, but it's so powerful that the fact that we sit there and look back on certain things and you're like, oh my God, you're so stupid. You're so stupid. And you make mistakes and you're going to fail, and you go forward and you plot to go forward and all that. It's funny on this forgiveness thing. Chris Webber, I read an interview one time. Remember, he called the timeout.
Yeah. Right. And he's going to be known for that the rest of his life.
And he said, there's a lot of things because I can't forgive myself for that.
Yeah.
And the guy's like, what happened? Nobody's like, I remember.
Yeah.
And he was talking about it in this deep, compassionate way. You're like, oh man, he has to deal with that every single day. Scott Norwood, who missed a field goal. If he hit the field goal, Bills win the Super Bowl with the Giants. We're not talking about the Bills franchise going 0 for 4. Imagine when he goes through every single day. Does he forgive himself? Probably not. So it's the battle you go through every day. But forgiving myself is the hardest thing I do in my life.
Yeah. You referenced Changes in Latitudes, Changes in Attitudes.
Yep.
Which is a fantastic song. A lot of people remember it because of one line because he cusses in it. But
you know, I feel about cussing.
I know, but it has the line that you just referenced, but it has my favorite. If we couldn't laugh, we would all go insane.
100%. 100% true on all that.
That is the truth. We'll get back to your answer, 615-737-1025, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. Join Jared Stillman, Chris Sanders, and Derek Mason downtown at JBJ's Nashville this Sunday for the pregame show from 9:30 to 11:30. They'll break down the Titans' Week 14 matchup against the Jags, give you the latest updates before the game. The pregame show is presented by Parman Tractor and Equipment, Sundeck Nashville, Sloan's Motorcycle ATV, and award-winning Blue Note Juke Joint and Blue Note Crossroads Bourbon.
just a good old boy.
Some
Never
Waylon.
meaning no harm.
Good show.
Beats all you never
Is it
saw.
still on reruns?
It is.
It's a good one. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3, The Game on this Thursday, live at the Omni Nashville Hotel. We're just some good old boys. Never meaning no harm.
No harm at all, man. That's right. So you play that song, like, you start singing, feeling good about that.
Yeah, for sure.
We have a, we're not going to mention who, we have a celebrity in bar lines that I can't stop staring at. So we're not going to mention who it is.
Just go see if they'll come on the show.
No, I said hi. And they were like, what's your name? And I said, look, I'm a complete nobody. That just disregard me ever stopping by.
Yeah,
And
there
they
you go.
laughed and then called security.
Back to our question of the day. Who's somebody, sports, non-sports, that you need to apologize to? 8566 says, sorry for everyone around me throughout the summer that had to listen to my excitement and hype around the Titans and the Preds this year. I truly thought it would be different. Hey, you know what? At least one of them could turn around.
But he's right. We said on the show in July and August, like, look at this offense of the Titans will be good. Defense, a little scary. Not sure if they've got all the pieces of the offense, my goodness. And then the Preds, they signed all these guys who are winners, and it's just to go ahead and reserve our spot in the Stanley Cup. And man, I apologize to all you guys out there. I'm sorry.
Tom in Nashville, as a Cowboys fan, I apologize to Jimmy Johnson on behalf of the Jones family. Yeah, you know.
Yeah, wow.
Probably should do that. Dustin says to myself I may sneeze here, Joe.
Okay, buddy. All right, can we go to the phone, Dr. Cranspring, and Eric with an apology? Eric, welcome in to the People's Show today. Eric, how are you, buddy?
Hey, guys, the guy that with Jimmy Johnson, because I grew up a Cowboys fan, was kind of going my direction, but I want to go in another way. I want to apologize to both A.J. Brown and Derrick Henry for the Tennessee Titans. You had the best running back in football and one of the top wide receivers in football, and this team, in my opinion, should have at least gotten to a Super Bowl. I don't know if they would have won it, but with the talent we had, and for the Titans organization basically screwing it up, it's just so frustrating as a Titans fan. Guys, y'all take care. We'll talk to you again soon.
You look, that
Thanks,
21 team, the summer, Julio Jones you signed, you got AJ, you got Derrick Henry, Tannehill feeling good, offensive line looking good. I mean, he had everything. And then your heart's ripped out in January by the Bengals, and then AJ Brown's gone, and it's just, my goodness. Yeah, but, you just, what's that Andy Bernard says? What's a way to know you're in the good old days while you're in the good old days? And
yeah,
those were the good old days.
It's funny to me. So I thought of something when we were in Key West. We were in between my naps that I took when we were driving. I had my earbuds in. It was on one of the shuttles that we were taking.
Okay.
And so I just had my playlist on random or whatever. And the Mariah Carey song, You Will Always Be My Baby, came on. Right? It's a catchy song. It's a good song, right?
Okay. We'll talk about why you have that on your playlist later. But go ahead.
Okay, that's fine. So it came on, and immediately my brain went to, you know what would have been a really funny bit after Derrick Henry left, after like the first few games of the season, take a bunch of Derrick Henry clips to that song, because that's how Titans fans feel. Like they're just not going to let him go. Like, and he will.
Nor
always,
should they.
No, I know, but I mean, like, he was going to leave.
I know that, but you can't. You can still love the guy, and he was in Baltimore. And
Like
I get all
everybody
that.
wants to be like I can't believe that the Titans would just let him walk. They were going into, well, we thought they were going into rebuild, and he was ready to go to a contender.
Well, those that know. So
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
mean, it's just like you just got to let it go.
Uh-oh, look who's on the phone now. All right, let's bring him in. Gator Mike, we already did your apology last segment. What do you want to add?
Oh, see, I missed it, Joe. I need my public apology because, when I came to visit you and Chase even was gracious and said, you know what, I don't think it's going to happen, but, I hope he can do it, turn it around. And lo and behold, who had him at 7-5 on their bingo card? I didn't even. I even had like 6-6. And then great recruiting class yesterday. Of course, like we said, it all hinged on DJ Lagway, so we'll see how it goes from there. But glad to hear the apology, Joe. I know you're gracious when you want to be. But also, too, I got to give my apology to my Tennessee friends. I didn't think they were going to do that well this year.
Really?
They're going to be in the play. Oh, yeah. I thought it was overhype on the Nico thing, and I thought they would lose a couple more games they should have. But good for them. They're in the playoff, and so I got to apologize to my Tennessee friends. Just putting it out there.
You sound like you're calling from a school PA system. Are you?
No, I'm actually on a landline in my hotel.
No,
it must
it
be
sounds
this
good.
great Capitol View area, Joe. That's what it is.
Can I just say this, Gator Mike? I am actively rooting for the Music City Bowl to get Florida here.
I don't think that's going to happen. I think the Gator Bowl do anything they can to get them just for ticket sales. You know how that goes.
Maybe. But could you imagine? Like, I've seen a couple of projections with like Michigan and Missouri. If it was Michigan, Florida, that would be awesome.
Oh, I would love it. I would be there in a heartbeat. Hell, even if they've been projected for like the Liberty Bowl too. If that happens, I'm going there. So
what about, we talked earlier,
goes.
Chase, that Florida, Nebraska here.
That wouldn't be. I'm not a big.
You could exercise some old demons.
I know. That's true. 1995. Yeah, broke my heart. I need to
couldn't tackle Tommy
Danny
Frazier.
Werfel on that too. Yeah, I need to apologize to Danny Werfel for that game. Anyways, but yeah, great show as always. And Joe, appreciate you for all your messages, reaching out. Like we've always said with your all show, guys, we got to take care of guys and have accountability. So love what y'all do on that part too. So always great to talk to you all, and I'll be talking to you soon.
Thanks, you, buddy.
Pal.
Appreciate it, Gator Mike.
I mean, apology is hard, right?
It is. It really is. So you brought up who did the bowl projections that you brought up the other day?
Saturday Down South.
All right, I got some from CBS.
Okay,
Jerry Palm.
Jerry Palm's pretty good.
Yeah, I got his coming up next.
Jerry Palm. All right.
See what you think of these.
Okay.
Because I was just looking at them. I'm like, okay, I don't hate some of these. We'll do that and much more here on the Chasing Big Joe show. 102.5, 106.3 The Game.
I wish there was a way to know you're in the good old days before you've actually left them.
The Office. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game on this TV-themed Thursday at the Omni Nashville Hotel at Barlines. I did my normal watch The Simpsons before I go to bed. Fantastic, underrated episode. Let's see if you can remember who voiced her. Larlene Lumpkin.
Oh,
Colonel Homer.
Yeah, Lurleen. Gosh, I know this answer. Oh my gosh, Joe, come on, Lurleen Lumpkin.
You want a hint?
Yeah,
Famous for her role in a movie franchise.
Beverly D'Angelo.
Yep.
Got it, Juju.
Yep.
Juju.
Sure was. That's a great episode.
Oh, it is.
That one, and then what was the other one I watched? Watched another episode. Oh, Selma marries Sideshow Bob.
Oh yeah. That's a good one.
And like everybody loves Bob except for Bart. Bart like doubts him the whole time.
And he's right. In January, we roll out Mr. Plow because of the snow.
Yes.
That's an iconic episode, just because of Linda Ronstadt and the song.
Oh yeah.
Mr. Plow, he's a loser. He's a
He's a
loser.
That's so good. All right, so some bowl projections because these are fun for some reason.
I love them.
This is from Jerry Palm, so on CBS Sports for the playoff. Now he caught my attention with the playoff.
Okay.
He has Georgia beating Texas.
Okay.
And Georgia as the 2 seed. Oregon is the 1. SMU is the 3. Boise as the 4. So those are your top 4. Texas hosts Arizona State. Ohio State hosts Tennessee. Penn State hosts Alabama. And Notre Dame hosts Indiana.
Okay. That's an interstate rivalry. Notre Dame, and not a rivalry, but interstate
Yeah.
game. Okay. I like that.
Yeah.
Alabama at Penn State in late December. My Lord.
That could be a good one.
God, that's heaven.
All right, some other bowl games. The Gator Bowl, Miami and LSU.
LSU will travel. Miami fans won't, but I like the game.
I think a lot of players are opting out, though, so I don't know how
Yep.
good that would be. The Texas Bowl, TCU, Texas A&M. He's got Ole Miss against Illinois in the Citrus. He's got South Carolina against Iowa in the ReliaQuest Bowl in Tampa.
Was that formerly the Outback Bowl?
Maybe. Yeah, probably.
Okay. Well, South Carolina, that's an excellent trip. You were expected to be nowhere,
Yeah.
and now you're a week in Tampa. I'll take that.
Music City Bowl, Michigan and Missouri.
Hate it.
I'm cool with Michigan. Missouri didn't really do much for me.
Nah, and I probably they'll fuel travel, but I'm not a fan of that.
He's got Colorado against BYU in the Alamo Bowl. I think that could be a good game. Pop-Tarts Bowl, Clemson, Iowa State.
Which is still the greatest single halftime thing I've ever
God,
seen.
It was so funny.
Was lowering the Pop-Tart into the giant toaster. And then it was on the sidelines.
In the Las Vegas Bowl, Florida against Washington State.
Won't happen because Florida went there 2 years ago and it was awful. They will not take that bowl.
December 27th, the Liberty Bowl, Memphis, Tennessee, Kansas State, and Vanderbilt.
I like it. I like that.
I like that matchup.
Vandy fans will travel down there. Plus, they'll have Kansas State fans will travel. It's a replay of the 2017 game. That's where we got the quote from Nephi Leleu. It was after the Kansas State game.
Oh, yeah.
Vandy beat Kansas State.
Yeah.
So we'll see if we can get another quote for you.
Oklahoma, Jacksonville State, and the Birmingham Bowl. Some other
Really?
Yeah, that could be. I like that.
Oh, that would be a fantastic game because a Conference USA team playing Oklahoma.
Is that it? Do they still play that at Legion Field, or is it the new place now?
I thought they did Legion Field. They should move it to the new place where Trent Dilfer has about 9 fans every game. And they're bringing him back.
He got the vote of confidence.
What a disaster.
He got the vote of confidence.
Absolute disaster.
And then Arkansas, Tulane, and the Gasparilla Bowl, which I think could be a fantastic game down in Tampa. So that's some bowl. And then they got Memphis and West Virginia in the Frisco Bowl. That's at the Cowboys place there in Frisco.
I like the one better when they had Vandy and Memphis playing
Yeah.
at the Gasparillo Bowl.
In
I like
Tampa.
that. I'd love to see that match because I saw Memphis play. They didn't play their best game against MTSU. Then you go out and watch them play Tulane, and they just beat Tulane up and down the field. And they finished 10-2. That's a really good program they've got, and it's been that way for a while. But I'd love to see that game.
Yeah. So there you go. And look, it's funny. I watch some of these bowl games that don't matter, but it's more fun when you do get a team that it does matter. Like nobody opts out, and it's like, hey, we're gonna go. We're gonna take a trophy home. We're gonna do something. This is our season.
Oh yeah.
And so some of these like no-name bowl games, those are kind of fun to watch.
Who would you like to see at the Music City Bowl?
Florida, Michigan, or Florida, Nebraska.
Yeah.
I mean, that'd be good.
I'd like to see Nebraska. I know they came in 2016, but they brought damn near half the state when they came. So from a marketing standpoint, you got to look at Nebraska. And don't hate me for saying this, fans. And Scott Ramsey, you do a great job, but don't get Vanderbilt in the Music City Bowl.
No.
So
Because as a Vanderbilt fan, I want to go somewhere. I mean, even to Memphis, like that's easy. Memphis or Birmingham's an easy trip. Tampa would like if they played Memphis and Tampa, that would be cool because that would be a destination and you could have some fun with it.
So Franklin went to the Liberty, Music City Bowl, and the Birmingham Bowl.
Correct.
Derek Mason went to the Independence Bowl and one more bowl. They lost both
Birmingham.
of them. Is it Birmingham?
I think so.
I don't remember. But they lost both of those.
Yeah. And Franklin won 2 or 3.
Franklin 2 or 3.
Because Dad and I went to the Liberty Bowl his first year. They played
Cincinnati
and
Travis Kelce.
Well, who was the coach?
Butch Jones.
Yeah. Yep. So they did that. I think both Kelseys might have been.
Probably. Yeah. But I would like to see this. So it's not like it's Vanderbilt. I'd like to see Vanderbilt. You deserve to travel what you've done. You got me going back a minute ago to Alabama traveling to Penn State.
Yeah.
I'd like to see Tennessee go to Penn State and wear all orange. And I hope it snows.
That'd be cool. I kind of want. I want to see Penn State, Tennessee. Let's see. I'd have to look at the bracket if that would work out. I'd like to see them in the next round.
Okay.
But
up in Penn State.
Yeah. Well, is the next round at a home site or is it?
Oh no, it's a bowl game.
Yeah,
You're right.
I think it is a bowl game.
You're right.
No.
So somehow if Tennessee gets in, I hope they go play Penn State. I'd love to see that. I would love to see Tennessee play Penn State or Alabama.
Yeah.
These games are gonna be great anyway.
Yeah. So how it would work is how he has this. Oregon is in the Rose, Georgia's in the Sugar, SMU's in the Peach, Boise's in the Fiesta. And then the semifinal games are Cotton Orange and then championship.
Okay.
So
I could see that happening. All right.
Yeah. So that's
I just whatever it is. We're not gonna like it, but we're gonna love it. We're not gonna love it. We're gonna hate it. I mean, it's gonna be all these emotions, but it's gonna be what it is. And just to see some of those teams go in those places you never dreamt about. Tennessee into Columbus, Tennessee into Happy Valley, or if it's flipped around, Penn State to Neal, whatever. I'm so looking forward to this. Otherwise, it would be conference weekend. You have your 4. And look, I go back. I'm old school. I go back to where we argue off season about who's number 1 because the AP's got Oklahoma and the UPI's got Miami. And I love the arguments, and we moan and moan and moan. But now I've kind of like, all right, this is cool because this is chaos.
Yeah. Dustin's been active today. He said, from a Cats fan, Vandy deserves to get a bowl game against us and just beat the fire out of us again, but Cats don't deserve a bowl game, LOL.
Dustin, by the way, you sent us the greatest text in the history of 102.5 The Game. We can't read it, but thank you for who you needed to apologize to and all that stuff.
Yes.
We're here, man. We are your free therapy show from 9 to 11.
That is us. That is us for sure. Coming up next, we'll tell you what day it is and celebrity birthdays. Live at the Omni, Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3, the game on this Thursday. Are you looking for a great gift to give someone for Christmas this season? Well,
I am.
You should check out some of the Nashville's best deals by going to thegamenashville.com/deals. Right now, you can purchase half-off gift cards for different places like Bavarian Beer House, Fat Bottom Brewing, Black Rabbit, Fog Street Lawn Club, Premier Six Theater, and so much more. Just head to thegamenashville.com/deals for that. We're live at the Omni Nashville Hotel at Bar Lines. Always love our time here. And we've had a spirited show. A lot of discussion today. Hit a lot of different things.
A lot to get off our chest.
Yeah.
And we appreciate everybody weighing in on who you need to apologize in life and in sports and whatever. So I tell you, you guys are amazing always with the reaction and comments, and that's why we love you.
Yes. I apologize to you for my snoring and falling asleep all the time in Key West.
We got to work on that, man. Because, I mean, you were good the one night, and then the second night, I wanted to I thought all the ships were coming into harbor because of your snoring. That's okay, though.
So my foghorn.
But you slept, and for those who made the drive from Miami to Key West on A1A, it is a beautiful, beautiful drive. My amazing co-host slept 98% of that drive. And
yeah, somebody on Facebook called me lame. Like, okay, whatever. Look, I felt comfortable. I felt safe. I was one with God,
Right.
with the peacefulness around me.
Will not argue.
And so I felt it was a great sleep too. I needed it.
Seabreeze does that to you.
And what did I tell you? You can say this. What did I tell you?
that I'm handsome?
No. Well, you are.
I don't know. I remember.
I said I every time I fell asleep, I started having dreams, and it was my dad.
Okay. All right.
So I think there was a little bit of that there. So
Okay.
so
All right,
there you go.
You are forgiven.
All right.
I'll
Thank you
forgive
very much. With that, let's get to what day is it and celebrity birthday.
I think my apology is for today, just for what day is it, honestly. But first we have is
Don't ever apologize for that because it's amazing. People
well, thank
love
you. I
it.
appreciate it, guys. First, we have here is AFL-CIO Day, which stands for, it's a giant acronym. It stands for American Federation of Labor and Congress of Industrial Organizations.
We
So,
got that.
Yeah,
Thanks.
yep,
thanks, buddy.
we also have National Bathtub Party Day. So that's today.
Who's that
Okay.
laughing? David James back there?
That's David chuckling it all up. Yep.
It's always the guy who laughs and never takes a bath.
I bet he does. I bet he has a rubber ducky. Could see it.
Possibility. Next we have is Day of the Ninja. So
Oh, that's
there's
me,
that.
baby.
Nice.
Dressed up as a ninja once for Halloween. That
I
was just
bet you did.
one time. International Volunteer Day. So that's next.
It's good. That should be every day.
We also have Krampus Snatch Day, which is the alternative to St. Nicholas Day. So that's
So wait,
basically
say that again, Nick.
Krampus Snatch. Krampus is what it is, but it's
Oh.
pronounced Krampus Snatch.
Are we okay. One more time.
No thanks. I know I'm pronouncing it right. I just
Oh, I'm sure you are.
no
Krampus?
Krampus. I know it's Krampus. Yeah, I know
What's the
that.
last part?
It's snatch.
Snatch. Yeah, it's like N-A.
What is it? What is it? It's got a description of what this is.
Yeah, it's an alternative to St. Nicholas. It's the terrible like horned little creature that goes and
So the alternate to Santa Claus is Krampus Snatch.
yes, it's a big thing in Europe.
Well, it was fun working here, and I'll see you guys on the street.
It just makes sure the kids that misbehave, he straightens them out. That's basically what it is.
Okay.
Well, next we have is National Blue Jean Day. So go grab your blue
good.
jeans.
I'm wearing some blue jeans today.
Go do a Canadian tuxedo. You could do that as well. Let's see.
Good.
National Comfort Food Day. So go
Love
find
some
your
comfort.
We
favorite
had it at
food.
Bar Lines today.
Yeah, we did.
Next we have is National Communicate with Your Kids Day. Always good to have some communication. National Commute with Your Baby Day. So if you're in the car, commute with your kid.
Well,
All
your
right.
kid is doing that with her kid.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Next we
crazy.
have is Repeal Day. So, repeal something.
Is it Prohibition Day today? Is that what that is?
It could be. A lot
I
of
think
lot
so.
of places are having prohibition parties.
Well, after that, we also have World Soil Day. So, the Midwest has that dark soil.
December 5th. It is. It is today.
Okay. Repeal Prohibition.
And last of the list, I cannot pronounce this because it's an Austrian type dish. It's just a chocolate torte cake. But yeah, it's has an S. I don't know how to pronounce it. So yeah, there's that.
Kind of Austrian dish like shrimp on the Barbie.
No, it's a dessert. It's a type of cake.
Obviously, you didn't see Dumb and Dumber. All right,
not.
thank you
That's
there.
my favorite movie.
Okay.
Prohibition lasted 14 years.
Yeah. That's who came after Homer? What was the guy's name? Rex Bannon?
Oh yeah, Rex.
Yeah.
Bannon.
All right. Time for celebrity birthdays. As we always do this, got to get birthdays within two. First birthday, Johnny Resnick. He is the lead singer of the Goo Goo Dolls.
53.
58.
59. Dr. Crane, 1-0. Comedian Margaret Cho.
47.
44.
56. Nobody got that one correct.
No,
Let's go down
thanks.
here. See
Yeah.
what else we got. I don't know what she's in. He looks familiar. Gabrielle Luna. It's like he's one of these. Says he's a True Detective. I don't know if he was or not, but
Oh
there's his
yeah,
picture.
yeah. Yeah, no, I know who that is. 46.
48.
42. Chaser, Frankie Muniz. Frankie, what's the show he had? With
Malcolm in the Middle.
Malcolm in the Middle.
Now he's a race car driver.
He is. There's a picture of him in the car.
Yep. 40.
44.
39. We're tied at 1. Go on the list here. Singer Jim Messina of Loggins in Messina was also in Poco.
72.
78.
77. Dr. Crane's up 2-1. Country singer
Even though
Gary.
we ain't got money. Sorry.
Country singer Gary Allen. Come on, man.
You come on.
Gary Allen.
Krampus. Gary Allen. 64.
70.
57. Who else we got here? I don't know that one. Don't know. He was in Fresh Prince. Never heard of him.
Who?
Today's also Walt Disney's birthday. And Little Richard. All right, last 5. Dr. Crane up 2-1. Heisman Trophy winner, Jim Plunkett.
Good Lord.
He won the Heisman, didn't he? Thought he did.
82.
83.
77. Art Monk. Great receiver, one of the best of all time. Played for the Redskins.
62.
74.
67. Eddie the Eagle, the British ski jumper who made a movie called Eddie the Eagle.
58.
61.
61 exactly. Dr. Crane's up 4-1. Down to the final 2. Chase, you're still in striking range. Charlie Batch, quarterback taken in the 19 draft.
Been on the show.
Charlie Batch.
Good interview. Charlie Batch is 51.
58.
50. Within striking distance, 4-2. And Chase, you should get this one. Former Nashville Predator, and I'm going to butcher his name, Oli Okinen.
Oli Okinen.
Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
Today's his birthday. Wasn't he here for a while? For a spell?
Like half a season.
He was still here.
Um,
Oh, it's for the. This you could tie. Chase, you could tie this.
41.
46.
At the buzzer. Dr. Crane hits it dead on. He is 46
46?
years old.
Wow, good job, Dr.
Dr. Crane
Thank
wins 5-2. You won 2 days in a row. Might be 3 days in a row, Dr. Crane.
Did I win yesterday?
You did.
All right. How
You did.
about that?
You win at life.
You channeled Krampus. And you're like, I need inspiration. And you won.
That means Krampus is not going after me.
No, he's not.
Krampus.
That's here's the Dr. Crane. Tell you what, I'll miss you tomorrow because I'll be in Chattanooga for the football games, but I'll miss you, man.
I miss you guys too.
That is going to do it for us today live at the Omni.
As we close every show out, and we all the guys who've reached out, we love you guys. And listen, if you're struggling and need to talk to somebody on your cell phone, you can dial 988. You can text 988, and we tell you all the time that we love you. And if something happened to you, you'd be tremendously missed because you are tremendously loved, and your journey is a beautiful journey. And we talk all the time about dark clouds, but know that when somebody thinks about you, they light up. You make them happy. They smile. When you walk into a room, they can't wait to talk to you. No matter what you're going through, there are people who absolutely love you. Know that we love you, and more importantly, God loves you.
Amen to that. Peace, love, rock and roll. Thanks so much for having some fun along with us.
Yes.
DVD coming up next, 102.5, 106.3, The Game.